allows hormones, sometimes they take over. Okay? Just like we sing, Holy Spirit, take over. And then you find yourself, yeah, he has taken over. The same way, hormones can also take over. You were doing this, then they take over your hand. They take over the other hand. They take over your shit. They take over. No, they can take. So don't give yourself to things that can take over. Okay? Have I explained it well? But also just marry, brother. Marry. Then you can go on a sabbatical leave for 1 year, just be kissing every day for 1 year after you are married. The next question says, how best can a person deal with trust issues and jealousy issues where one was hurt in the past? It depends on what hurt you. But number one, forgive the person that hurt you. Very important. Number two, forgive yourself. If there is something that you also need to forgive yourself about. Number three, maybe know that whatever happened in the past is not prophetic and is not predictive of the future. The fact that your old boyfriend hurt you doesn't mean that every boyfriend is going to hurt you. Because that's sometimes the way people think. Because their mother was left by the father unceremoniously, then they think that every man will leave their wife unceremoniously. No. But also finally, learn lessons from it. Why did that person hurt you? Because sometimes you are hurt because you contributed to hurt. You positioned yourself very well for hurt. Like I have always told the ladies, don't be a foolish lady that sleeps with a man before you marry. You are positioning yourself for hurt. Because the Bible is very clear. It's in one of the CDs. One of the CDs, I explained it thoroughly. Get a hold of it. Media, maybe try to find it for me. But when you find it, don't circulate it in the groups and say what pastor is talking about here is this one. I don't know. Find it so that those that want it, when they ask you, you can tell them. But I can also check from my notes on which sermon it was. But I talked about the dangers and the consequences and the evils of fornication or sex before marriage. There are many. Many spiritual consequences. And the Bible already predicts to us through a story of Amnon and Tamar that the man really liked the lady. Amnon really liked Tamar like he really liked her. If he married her, this would have been one of the best treated wives. But before marriage, he forced himself and raped her, slept with her. The Bible says immediately the hatred that he had for her was even much worse than the love that he had for her. That's what has happened in many relationships. You sleep with that boyfriend by spiritual laws. By spiritual laws, hatred comes because it's a spiritual law. So the man begins to hurt you. To hate you as in H-A-T-E, begins to hate you. It might not reveal the same time, but it's a seed that has been planted. And the more you keep sleeping together, it's the more you are watering that seed. Research shows that many times the ladies that a man sleeps with are not the one that he ends up marrying. That's what research shows. A man may sleep with 5 ladies and marry the 6th one that he didn't sleep with. And many others. I thought about it very well in a certain sermon. As a lady, don't. What if he's forcing? He's saying he will leave me. He's saying he will leave you. That doesn't hint you anything? Sleep with me or I will leave you. Doesn't that hint you on something? That this one is only having you for the purpose of sleeping with you? So don't. Actually tell him that, okay, let's get married. Like next week. And sine muntu ovuta. we officiate per case here, then bas tipempha room. We are building new offices here. Immediately after here, you won't have to exit. Olo bridal party ikuzomaka tukia uku inu tikulolani kuti ya shortcut iyi. Lowani kaye umu antu tukutani tukudikira. Mafoto tijambulisa chani after simuli pachangu kwambiri. But not before marriage. Is it possible? Yes. As I told you, I was with Pastor Emma for 3 good years before we got married. And we never kissed. We never slept together. So it's possible. Koma is, you know that many people that actually sleep together, most of them are not planning to sleep together. Ambiri, zama kisizi. Tingo piempio ntana. Kena kumawa. Kena kolinalo. Hey. Hey. Close the curtains. Hey. Kena. Hey. Next question, I think last but one. Okay, they're just about 2, 3. Can I just take them quickly? I think the owner of the question wouldn't feel good that I leave it. So let's also let's have brotherly love, isn't it? Okay, I think this one. It says, hello, Pastor. What should a man do when a lady likes him to spend money on things that do not matter much? For example, going to classic hotels and spend more money on food that could also be bought on a cheaper price somewhere else. It says, when that man doesn't have enough money for that, rather than spending that cash on small investments that will help in near future for a better life before or after marriage. As a man, I love and like this lady, but somehow I feel like I am hiring a personal jet when my level is using kabaza njinga ya kapalasa. While okay, then the other part says that he has seen an effect on his finances. He says his business, blah, blah, blah. Let me give you an answer. My answer will be very balanced. Number one, men, don't convince ladies with money. Because what you birth with money must be sustained by money. So many times, as we want that lady, some men start to splash money they didn't have. So you use up all your salary to buy one gift. The lady thinks that, the person has just taken 2% of his money, yet you have taken the whole salary. When you start the relationship, then you change from those gifts to very cheap ones. You are taking the lady to classic hotels. Now you can't. The lady begins to think that you are changing and begins to doubt you. So don't win someone by money. Okay? Number 2, ladies. Ladies, number 1, you must also understand that the man may want money to facilitate, to lubricate the transaction. It will oil the transaction. As in, he may need Eunice to call you. He may sometimes do this, take you somewhere so that you can talk well, eyeball to eyeball, face to face properly. Don't take that and say, because you started it, you must finish what you started. You took me to classic hotels, always do so. No. Because that's not sustainable. Are you there? So sometimes a man may take you to an expensive place, don't expect it to be happening every other week of the relationship. Okay? On the other note, ladies, let's not put pressure on men for money. It's not a good position. Actually, this is what gives you lesser competitive advantage. If you are someone that he just gives money, then tomorrow he may also begin to demand a lot. So you will not demand money, but you will pay something that can be bought by money. Hey, have you seen that equation? So don't be someone that demands too much. Of course, don't also be the other extreme where your man puts fuel in your car. Say, no, I don't take money from men. I'm independent. Buys you a gift. You say, how much is this gift? 40,000. Keep change. That's also stupidity. But don't be the one that, like this situation, no, it mustn't be. Are you hearing RFP ladies? This mustn't be, isn't it? Don't be a money person. No, it's unnecessary. And especially if you waste on ndalama ya ulibe, sukuchokera su background ya ndalama, ndiye ukuzivutisira nji. Life is in stages, isn't it? Yes. Money will increase over time, but don't put unnecessary pressure on each other. No, take me now. In a keep sindimaja. So what do you eat? Crossroads. In your past, uli papole technique. Unkaja steers ili opposite kapeno mapita pa chiwaya chiji. Sister Beatrice, sumakaja pena pa chiwaya. You are at pole, isn't it? Pena sumakaja pa chiwaya paja. Mumakaja? That mumakaja? Okay. Ndiye mumuvute brother wina wake kuti azikupitisa ni steers. Ino steers ili yakuyandikirani nditu. Simukumapita omakaja lunch. Mumuvutisire nji mwana wa muntu wina. Not fair, isn't it? Kuti kumama zoti amuna fe ndife anthu ngati nomwe. Are you there? Women are also working hard for money, just like you are working hard for money, isn't it? Hey, inu mukutipula na fe tukutipula. What? Minister, nusumukutipula inu? Tutamanda sinanu mukutipula? Nde inu yo muzavutisa munani. Iweyo, poti niwe muntu wa muna. No, sitatipulani, mutandize zintu pakhomo. That's why even this habit of, you are the man, you are the one to incur expenses here. Me, my money is for me and buying clothes and makeup. Mamuna ndeo jesa. Tabwera kuzajesa ngombe feyo mbanja. Next question. We are almost finishing. Next question. Good evening, Pastor. Okay. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to ask a question. My ex-boyfriend and I broke up last year, January. But since then, we keep crossing paths. But no one has the strength to tell the other how they truly feel. And when I pray about my love life, something in my soul keeps bringing him back. Do. Okay. Quickly, let me answer it. 3 things you can consider. Number 1, what caused the breakup? Find out what caused the breakup. Sometimes it's not justifiable, but sometimes it's also justifiable. If it's justifiable, it's not just a matter of missing each other. If there was a bad reason that caused the breakup to happen, don't just say no because we keep crossing paths. So that's number 1. Number 2, you could also look at, is this person suitable? Because I have taught you several times on what the Bible means by a suitable partner. Look at suitability. Is this person suitable? Or is it just someone that is my ex? Because by nature, you will miss your ex. If you are still single, chances are high you will miss your ex, isn't it? Because you used to chat, text, and do all of this. And when you see them, you may miss them. But it doesn't mean it's justification enough to go back into a relationship with them. Evaluate all of these factors. But also, number 3, you may need to help yourself spiritually. If it happens that you ever slept with this man in that relationship, it is oftentimes difficult for many ladies to walk out like that if they slept with a man. So that might require some prayers on your part, may require some spiritual help. I know what I'm talking about. I have helped many in that line. That's why you have also seen most of you that have got friends. Okay, those of you that have got younger friends, and they're in a relationship with a certain man, a certain boy, and somehow you actually tell them, but you know that this man cheats on you. And they say, no, but I can't leave him. But he cheats on you. He mistreats you. He beats you up. Most of the times, they may not tell you that they have slept together. There's a certain bond that happens when people sleep together. Even if this one is being ill-treated, cheated on, it would still be difficult for her to walk on many times, except the Lord helps her. So, if you are in such a case, you can meet me and I'll help you. Finally, no, not finally. There's another one here, very quick one. I've been struggling with pornography for several years, 13 years, he says, which now has developed into masturbation. I know it's a loophole that the devil uses to inflict me, yes. I'm scared to be honest about my life now. It's not moving forward and I'm no longer worshiping God the way I used to. Definitely, that's what happens. You entertain pornography, it ends into something, finally, to choke your spiritual life. Don't start. I feel empty. Though outside, I try to compose myself as if everything is okay. But inside, I'm being torn apart. I have prayed, fasted about it, but still no change. It's like a thorn in the flesh. Man of God, I'm looking for your help. Now, this one, maybe meet me so I can help you on it, but don't entertain such things. Don't entertain fornication. Don't entertain pornography. Don't entertain masturbation. Don't entertain kissing, whatever, touching. They haunt you in life. You will regret for the rest of your life. You know what, brothers and sisters, one thing that you must agree with by now is, I am someone that by now, I have taught thousands of people. My ministry impact is in thousands, like many thousands now. When I see something, I know what I'm talking about. Because I've impacted lives from the south to the north, east and west, Malawi and outside. When I see something, I've got experience in what I'm saying. I know what I'm saying. So believe me, don't argue too much. Especially those of you that are teenagers. Teenagers think sometimes they know everything. So they argue. Yeah. During his days, they weren't, he doesn't know. We know. Kiss, just kiss. Actually, all he knows is just kiss. He doesn't know there is a peck. Whatever. You are just being stupid. So don't find yourself in stupid things like this. Even finding yourself in a relationship and you are very young, very unnecessary. What are you doing there? Concentrate on your school. Have a good future. Do you know, you ladies, can I tell you something? Do you know, when the man wants to make a decision on marriage, they also consider other factors. That's why oftentimes, look at Dr. Euclid, married Minister Rachel. They were together at College of Medicine. She's a pharmacist. He's a medical doctor. Oftentimes, it flows like this. Men are also able to analyze. Of course, there are some men that don't care the gap. But men, they still you to know. Satabe. So you are starting relationships at 12 years old. 13 years old, firstborn. Second, 14 years old, secondborn. You are reducing the men that will approach you. There was a lady in Lilongwe that ever cried for her. Actually, she left. She had joined, she had a child, so she looked a bit young. So men would approach her. Once she said, I have got firstborn this number of years, men would just, okay, our sister, okay, so when are they, this, okay, the Lord, when are we serving the Lord? All the love words, they would withdraw. So she cried foul. She said, men here are not serious. Antokumandifuna. Kina kukuzangu ndisiya. I say, ndingani zimene amva. Isn't it? So you see, the more you are putting your life like that, you are reducing your chances. Of course, if you did that without knowing, that's another thing. But now you are in this conference, you now know. Don't go and pile up children for yourself. You are reducing your chances of marriage. Number 2, that man that impregnates you when you are from 2, you won't marry you. Yeye akupitilia ndi school. Asa kwa ndi anandazi nzake ama PhD. Iwo zakathera kuti uzakathera munsewu. You know those on the road. And sometimes mujuni mpepo kuminya. One day when I was driving at night, you know, kukuzizira people. And but most of it starts like this. Being careless whilst you are young. Increase your value. When you increase your value, you are valuable. Valuable men will approach you. But even if you increase your value and men don't approach you, like, it's also no pressure, isn't it? You can live life on your own. Koma, wekaloti ulindi this heavy load. Kena kusu walipi mamuna kufusira. Umamba no kuwafusira wewe. Abambo inu chondi ni keni sireni. Inu. Olo second wife isumu kumfuna. Inu. You now start begging everyone. You are desperate. Ngona to mujone na foolish. Koma mkozo jita nanu zomwezo if you're not careful. Be careful in life. Are you there? Pregnancy to city majida. There's no one that has ever gotten pregnant. I mean, okay, mina alipo, kuma very strange ladies, a few creatures. But I don't think there are many young ladies that actually go and say, you know, I'm looking for pregnancy. Any man here that can impregnate me? Baba inoki, mungani tandizeko, ndika pregnancy, olondan, mun tandizako, mungani. No. No ladies looking for pregnancy. Ndizomwezi wagwidwa. You haven't assist the person. The person is not spiritual or comes to church not serious. All any of these funny things. Is kissing. No, it's not in the Bible. Then this, then this, then hey. Then I know we're going to be using a condom. So I will not get pregnant. Condom. Then condom. Then we will be looking at the menstrual cycle. Tis werenga masiku. 20 days. Then we have gotten risky zone. You know what? I'm being honest. That's a stupidity that many people do. Ata werenga. You went the way hova well. Uga werenga don't you? So you end up wearing. I ever had a certain case. If I'm speaking like this in Chichewa, just know that it's not kuza. Never just soni wabidi. Chisoni jina ndikuza. Jina ndiloa muntima chisoni. Chisoni kuloa kuna kulikosa. Chisoni. this person got pregnant. And akuti, yeah, tinangogwirizana ati all we agreed is at this thing, this headmaster should just touch. That's all. We are done. That's what they agreed. The results of touching was pregnancy. I say, wait a minute. It's like someone saying, no, ningo gira microphone. Nyimbo ningo yambisa. Uimba yose, hallelujah. Chanchani. Actually, ukaimba imene ulo hesapo ina. Hakuna kuna mawewe mama. Hakuna. Usinthathu zimbali, isn't it? Alipo amene nyimbo amangoyamba kuti praise. Nyimbo yata. Okay, last question, last one. Oh, I think this last one is also sensitive, so maybe I'll just pick certain parts of it. Oh, okay, there is this one. This one I don't know if I'm supposed to answer. This one says, hi, Pastor, I thank you for the opportunity to ask you questions about MCS. Even though my question is not related, I will still use the opportunity to ask. My question is, Pastor, I have been amazed and always amazed. I have been amazed and always amazed at how you teach the gospel. It's like you are always loaded about what to share. How did you get to know all these things? Okay, thank you, number one. Number two, what I teach you, just do it. I study the Bible. These things are not anywhere else. They're in the Bible. I study them. I also listen to sermons like anyone would do. I read books like anyone would do. I pray like anyone would do. I do things like anyone would do. That's how I go to this. Thank you. Final question. Final question. As I said, I will explain this one. This one, I read it before we came. I read it. So I just want to explain it. It's quite sensitive. But the story is that this man has got a child outside marriage. And he specifically said it was before he knew the Lord, the way that he knows the Lord now. It's before he got. So he says, the question is really that I've got that child and then I am married. Must I keep helping that child? And when I do, is sensitive to my wife and all of this. So what I'll explain is this. One, it was wrong. And from the question, it shows that you realize that it was wrong. But number two, don't victimize the child. So talk with your wife that the child must still be helped. Don't do it secretly. Because if you do it secretly, the wife may sometimes be thinking, maybe they'll get back together, whatever. But also, wife, if you are here, that's a life of someone. That child may also grow up to be a crook, to be a thief, to be a murderer if he is not receiving assistance. So zintuzo zinalakwika, but mwanayo muthandizeni. Love the child the same way and everything. Maybe even better if you feel kuti abambo wakabwerera kumene amakankhula sonkhani zambiri. The wife should be the one to carry whatever must be carried. Olo mwanayo azibwera in the house, chats with the father, whatever, and then leaves, but take good care of the kid. Because kongo musiya sojonjo, anambira maunongeka later on because of such. And it's not their fault. Mwanayo ngatana sankha ngati. Mwanayo sana sanki. This marks the end of the service. We have taken a lot of time, so let's now just do the offering and we close. Have you been blessed? Have you learned a lot of things? All right. You can't even think of clapping hands for me. Okay. All right, let's collect the offering and let's do it quickly. I already made an altar call as we are starting the preaching, so I will not make another one now. Of course, if there are people that came in sick and you want God to heal you or any other problem, I can still pray for you after the offerings. If you want to give in an envelope, lift up your hand. If you want to give through an envelope, you lift up your hand so that they give you an envelope. Those of you that are worshiping with us for the very first time, I will not welcome you separately. I would just like to say a very, very big welcome to all of you. Thank you for coming, and may God richly bless you. Keep coming, keep learning, keep being impacted. So we are now going to give our offerings. Remember, now can we please stop the movements and the music first? It's making people not to listen to what I'm saying. I was saying, we're going to give the offering now. As you know, the offering we give the Sunday usual offering, and then we also give towards the KCA project. Now, the KCA project, we have to speed up, okay? Because now many people are beginning to show interest in hiring the auditorium, and it's money. It's money for the work of God, because the money we can make here is going to help out in the work of God. Of course, some already had it on Friday, so we got the money, and that money has gone straight into the project. But what the best we can do, actually I think 2 people paid over last week. We took the money, put it in the project, but we need to now run with speed. Wouldn't want anyone's wedding to come up and we haven't finished the auditorium. So let's put up a higher gear. Are you there? Tell your neighbor, higher gear. Yes. So the offices are almost finished. They are putting the iron sheets this week. So then it will just be now a final touches. Then we'll come back here with full force now so that we can finish. And then this auditorium also begins to make its own money. Okay? So we are giving towards our usual offering and then towards the KCA. All right, so as you are coming, you find 2 baskets. They are properly labeled offering KCA. Let's give towards it. Let's give, and then we call it a night. So those of you that are coming from the back, you give in the middle section. Those of you that are coming from the other ones, you give in front. Let's do it quickly. God bless you. Once you give, you may go.